It is a good morning, and oh man, did I mess it up today, guys, but it's okay. First of all, let me thank you for all the support on the previous video. It is my best performing video with the most views, and we also got the most comments, and you guys left such nice comments, so thank you for that. And I love replying to comments, so just drop a hi down below, tell me how your trading day went, and yeah, so let's get into what I was doing today. Okay, let's first of all set the premise. Let's look at this. So Friday we had a massive drop after my long, which I won. So we had a almost 500 point drop on Friday. So my long was right in here. I took this little Judas swing up, and then we had a massive day down. So after a massive day on Friday, today is Monday, and we should be expecting less volatility because after a big range comes a small range. So that's the first mistake I made. Second mistake is tomorrow is CPI. So as you can see right here, tomorrow high impact CPI. So I should not be trading the day before CPI because the market is less likely to make nice moves. And finally, in the morning we had this let's see, how do I draw a trend line? Okay, look, we had this wedge, expanding wedge. So whenever I see that, I don't like that because like this does not help my analysis. And when we have these higher highs and lower lows being formed, generally this is like a high resistance liquidity run. I had a high conviction that we would be going down today, and why is that? Because all of this move was rebalanced very nicely, and we have these equal lows. So I do believe these equal lows can be taken, but I'm going to stop for today before I lose any more money because I'm just not in the right mindset. I'm taking bad trades and I don't want to lose any more than I have to. So that's something previous me would have never done. I would have never stopped here. I used to take like 300 contracts a day, but today we only took 2 contracts. We lost both, and I'm going to stop before it gets any worse. So yes, we had all of this. Let me just show you. On the 2 hour, I think. Nope. On the 1 hour. Okay, well, we had this immediate rebalance right here. So after this immediate rebalance, I thought, okay, maybe we can see a continued move down. And on the 15-minute, so yeah, let me remove this. So this fair value gap was holding. And after that, we had this fair value gap holding. And also, we had these highs being taken. So this fair value gap is holding. The bodies are closing inside of it, but there are some mohawks to the upside. So this buy side has been taken despite it being quite shallow, and we have the equal lows down here. So my initial target was here, and I split this range also in half just in case we got a runner. I would have liked to take it off at half because I'm not going to wait for it to go all the way down to these lows. But there is a fair value gap over here, which I took into consideration. So let's actually look at the more short-term analysis and trade entries. Here we had a bunch of fair value gaps. Yeah, let me just remove a bunch of this stuff. So we had this fair value gap, which I had marked out. Oops. And this fair value gap up here, which was already holding. So I was looking for a reaction off of this fair value gap and then a sell. So as you can see, I was trying to sell. I tried to sell twice, and ultimately, if I hadn't gotten stopped out, this move was 90 points. So this was a very good, analysis, but my actual trades were stopped out. So my entries were really bad. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So in terms of this, we have these equal highs, this one, and also this one over here. So we have kind of equal highs and more equal highs, and then we have a fair value gap. We had the equal lows down here, which I was kind of expecting to be traded to kind of more quickly. Okay, a lot of ramble. So here are the entries. This first entry was pretty bad because it didn't follow the plan at all. So I was trying to sell here and I got stopped out. Why? Well, it tapped this and I was like, okay, now we're going to see some downside, and I didn't want to miss the move. That is a terrible reason to enter a trade. Not missing the move is like, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't lose, there will be another move. Don't rush the trades. So then this second one was also pretty bad. We sold all the way down here. And as you can see, this came back up here and then it sold off. I was still hunting for shorts when it came up here, but I didn't get any because, of course, I'm trading on the 5-second chart. So let's see, where were my entries? So I was short in this fair value gap. That is not a good trade in my book. Why? It already took out these equal lows. And yes, there's a fair value gap here, but there's also a second fair value gap up here, and there's equal highs, and there's another fair value gap here. And yeah, so even though it hit the 15-minute, this entry is not good on the 5-second chart alone. We're selling in a discount. So from here to here, we are in a discount, and yeah, we shouldn't be selling that with a tight stop loss. You know, if I wanted to sell here, my stop loss should be like above the 15-minute fair value gap, but I'm not gonna do that. So then we took out this high and I was waiting. So I've taken one stop and I'm thinking, okay, let me be patient. So here I could have sold this, but there was a fair value gap here, so I didn't want to take the risk. And also this is from 42 to 34. This is almost a 10-point candle. I'm not about to put my stop above there, but this is a balanced price range, so you know, it could have been a good trade. Either way, I don't take it. I'm being patient. And then here I missed this. Now I should not have missed this trade, but it's okay, and I also shouldn't have missed this trade, but we do. And yeah, so it goes all the way down here, and I'm thinking, okay, well, it's holding this fair value gap. It didn't come all the way back up, but it took out these highs, and it made another fair value gap in here, which I'm trying to short. But as you can see, we got stopped out. And this was not a good trade either, because it was before it came back up into here, and I was waiting for this to come back up into here. So as you can see, it came all the way back into the fair value gap, and now I was really hunting shorts. But guess what? So I always take the second fair value gap. So this is the first one right here. But I wanted to see if this would hold. It closed above it, so I wasn't really convinced. And then it came down, but it didn't make another fair value gap. The next imbalance is here, but you can see it just ran away from me. And this is when I stopped trading. Well, I didn't stop trading. I was still on the chart and I was waiting for something to happen, but I had already missed my perfect entry right up here. And then it came close to here. I was still looking for shorts all the way until these lows were taken. So let's look at this. Here I was once again looking for shorts. It came up here. So here we have the 3-minute fair value gap being hit, and I was indeed looking for shorts again, and I saw this entry, but this is not my ideal entry. I always want to take the second fair value gap, because if the first one doesn't hold, my stop would have to be above these equal highs, and it's definitely getting hit. And then here's the second fair value gap, but I was not quick enough, because usually I wait for the candle to close, and once this closed, it just went straight down. Like look at this, 83 all the way down to 75. So another almost 10-point candle, and it went really quickly, so I was not able to enter my trade up here. Yeah, so a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, overall the analysis was good. It did go short when we wanted it to, and this would have been from 83 to 55. So a 30-point trade, that's pretty good, but we didn't catch it. And then I was looking to see if this was going to show signs of weakness, but it did no such thing. and now we are here. So yeah, this is some very, very suspect price action, and I'm not willing to lose any more money. So the total of our losses, let me just show you, is actually under 300, which I consider a managed loss, you know? I took some bad entries. I'm not too satisfied with it, but it's okay. We're gonna keep learning, and that does end my perfect 6-day 100% winning streak. But that doesn't really matter. That's just an ego kind of thing. So I don't want to blow my account just uh, trying to go for perfect days and only wins, because that's how you lose. And yeah, so as you can see, none of these fair value gaps are really acting that nice, and you know, we have some like 50-50 conditions because we already took out the targets to the sell side. The next one is kind of far away. There's a imbalance in between, and we have a lot of buy side over here. We have CPI tomorrow, and I'm sure that one of these will get taken, but I don't want to guess. So I'm going to be back either tomorrow or Wednesday, and we're going to hopefully secure some profits. But yeah, not terrible trades. As you can see, we were trying to sell in a premium and we would have gotten a nice big move, but we were not able to position ourselves. I think that's because I was a little bit unsure of myself, nervous, because over here, both of these trades were on a limit. So I did not wait for this. If I had waited for this candle to close all the way up here, I probably would not have entered it, because this body close is way up here and not down there. But I was feeling like it was going to move fast today, which it definitely did. So I put it on a limit, and then I did a second limit because so the reason for that is, look at all of this. So from here, it went straight down in a line and then straight up in a line, and it left some imbalances, but it was moving pretty quickly. So I thought, okay, it's going to do that again. So let me put a limit in, make sure I don't miss my entry. But yeah, this was a pretty bad entry. And then this was also not the best entry, although it could have worked out because buy side was taken and then there was a fair value gap. And then when the actual trades that would have worked out came along, I was like, okay, let me be more careful, wait for the bodies to close. And then the bodies did close all the way down here, so I'm not about to have a 20-point stop loss. And yeah, we missed the move, but that's okay, because as you can see from the previous days, my setup does exist in the market. So all I have to do is wait long enough for it to appear again, and then we can get some nice high risk to reward trades, because for me, that is what I want to see, because TopStep has a tight risk management. So I want to know that every time I'm putting something on the line, chances are it will work out in my favor. So my win rate is pretty high. I think it's like 60-70%. And my risk to reward, I think I've been getting like 10R on a good trade, and then like 3R on a bad trade. And of course, TopStep shows you your risk to reward, and it says there, I think I have like 2.5, but the reason for that is because a lot of my runners get stopped out for less than target, because I want to hold them for bigger targets. But that's completely fine by me. One of these days, it's going to pay off. And until then, I don't want to be taking any unnecessary losses. So I think I've said everything that I want to say. I'm not going to trade this anymore. It's being held between, let me just clear this. For now, it's being held between here and here. Okay, so it's going to finally break out to the upside, and it's probably going to go over here. But this range is too small for me to trade. It's 30 points, and like, yeah, I would have already had to enter, and it's already on a run. So in theory, I could have taken this, but it's okay. And that's another profitable analysis. Yeah, so if you guys are interested, like, okay, of course we have these equal lows down here, but nothing in here held. And then we had this fair value gap hold, and this fair value gap inverse, and also this is another fair value gap right here, resulting in a balanced price range. And of course the bodies are holding, and then we have these equal highs from the morning, and it went up here. Okay, that's enough from me for today. See you guys soon.